Last time on
Danganronpa.
I'm not good with blood, but you know, Junko's right there. All it takes is one glimpse and I black out. Look behind you.
What's up, Dreadful?
So I guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Indeed.
Good idea.
Hey,
Everybody, let's say something. Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysteries surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to uncover the truth of Sayaka's death. Sayaka got killed by someone we're getting ready to find out. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find who the real killer is. As I raised my voice and tried to give myself courage, everyone looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I turned, trembling with anticipation, toward the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else who was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. The doors closed, the elevator started to move. Here we are. I might move over to the other side. No, I think just the character profiles are on this side. I can't remember. The steel box descended with a heavy clunking sound toward the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his time finally comes. Is he saying this out loud to himself?
Oh.
Hi, Celeste. Rather than that, it is more like the defendant waiting to receive his judgment. Okay, I guess I did say that out loud. Oblivious to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. Like I said, I might do Monokuma's a voice. I think I just heightened my voice. I remember. You finally arrived! Ta-da! What do you think? Doesn't it feel like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right?
Shit.
Not even close. It's total shit. Also, like, I keep looking at my levels. Sorry if I blow out anything. Like, I got rid of my limiter. Because, fuck that, I'll blow your ears out. Phrasing. But I figured... I tried to not compress as much as I sound. Okay, everyone find your assigned seat and sit down. Yahoo! No one sits down, like literally you stand for the whole thing. Now hurry up! We did what he said and found our seats. Once again, we are all standing. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so everyone could see everyone else. And we get a nice overview shot of Aoi's cleavage. Right over there. Which also meant it be easy for anyone to transfer their tension and unease onto anyone else. Like, yeah, literally, that had to be a design choice because she is the only one showing cleave and it was literally placed right there. Unless, like, because Makoto, Naegi, is right in the middle and that's us, so... The air seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. I'm sorry, I'm talking about boobs. And so the curtain on our first case opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly clash trial. I don't know. All my... I think I have all the truth bullets. I don't think you can't go without them. Let's... But the any other? Those are the only two I have right now. Okay. Trial time. All rise. Sorry, my nipple
Let's
just.
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Can't, hold on. Let's look at the intensity that Taka's got going on over here. I was to say, that's all I'm going to be covering up are their faces over here, so.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise
Sorry, I
their
forgot to raise my
hand?
hand.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
What is it, Kirigiri?
What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
All right, Hifumi, calm down.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's so funny listening to Monokuma here. It's like, because like any other time Monokuma's around, he's like, he's more upbeat. Like here, he's just kind of like chill. There, I guess I should say there. It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think is the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up. What is not plugged in correctly? Because this isn't about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Oh, I hit not at all. I actually wanted to know what the buttons were. Whoops. Right. Evidence of a struggle. Can I pause it real quick? Because there we go. Controls, since I hit that. Aim. Right? Okay. Well, we'll figure this
Assert
out.
that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Something's off about what was just said. And I missed shooting it. Because if Sayaka hadn't resisted at all, there was no explanation for what happened in my room.
I assert that the one who was murdered.
Yeah, and the murder took...
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
Looked like an orgy went off in my room.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely
really
assume there was
weird
a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Oh, I don't know, Chihiro. The Easter Bunny and Santa Claus.
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
No.
She must have been attacked in the main room first,
You okay there,
She
Leon?
ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Yeah. Chihiro, what the hell were you doing?
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Sure. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. I mean, it was, yeah.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach.
Some kind of sharp
Without a doubt,
object.
That is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had?
No, that's wrong.
I love the music.
No, I
been
do think
listening
it was a knife.
to the
Not
music,
just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a
lately.
kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon if you look real close.
I fat fingered that and didn't let
see that
Mondo
being a
quit.
kitchen knife.
Or finish.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us?
Well, that somebody grabbed a kitchen knife and murdered Sayaka.
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room
Do
was
it.
the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
There's a lot of evidence that proves I didn't do
Let's draw
it.
our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
Shut up, Leon.
I don't think
you
that's
don't know
true
me.
at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's got to be breakthrough somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. Yeah, let's hear a little bit more. You can concentrate by holding down R1. While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone is saying. On top of that, it'll steady your aim, making it easier to target such a weak spot. Concentrating on this consumes focus gauge. If the gauge is empty, you can't concentrate. But the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. See, Aoi's account was that Sayaka came
So I guess
in.
there's no question that the kitchen knife
the
was the
kitchen.
murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right?
No,
Did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall.
that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Oh, kiss my ass,
what if I
Butaka.
have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Hey, Peekabee. I just burped. Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back to the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? And who came into the dining hall when you were drinking your tea in that time frame? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
So it had to be before 10 o'clock because the dining hall closes
Yeah.
at nighttime.
That's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
That's
The
right,
knife
Hina.
disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In
Sorry,
other
I'm
words,
not picking my
there's
nose.
no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this?
Oh, fuck off, Toko.
What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
That's right.
But what if they did work together?
My desk is a
And they
mess.
just...
Good
Oh,
grief.
sorry, Chihiro.
Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case. Oops. Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
But she has someone that
No,
knows
no way! I swear
that she
it
was in
wasn't
there
me.
too.
Sure.
Sayaka.
But can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
Sakura.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my
Sakura.
tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
The one who just spoke, Leon. Are you a fucking moron?
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
Nope.
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room.
That's right, because I stayed in Sayaka's.
So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
By the way, this game was made in like 2010, 2009. Might have some still questionable things that don't go PC with today.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
And who was
Why
that?
didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because... they're not here anymore.
Junko. Someone who's not here. Are you talking about?
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was Monokuma. Sayaka.
Got it!
You remember, right? She still needed a
Sayaka
defense.
is the one who took the knife?
She didn't have a defense. Well, she didn't have a defense tool, so.
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
Very good, Taka.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
Hifumi, why are you pointing?
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
But I didn't.
What?
I'm the protagonist. I didn't do it.
He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
I'm lucky. Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murderer. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
Thank you, Kiri.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering.
And that bewildering is, what did they do with my back scratcher?
And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
My back scratcher's gone. Now we have a big mystery on my hands.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Me? Makoto. Our first Hangman's Gambit's about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Sure. As things advance further in the class trial, Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place. Oh, this is the... well, you kind of play Hangman, but you choose letters. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Left stick to aim, press triangle to shoot the desired letters. If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If the gauge reaches 0, you run out of time, you fail. Good luck and have fun! Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. We just figure out what that something is. Don't mind me, I'm gonna get in my mind and spell out the word hair.
Now I understand.
That one was easy. It's the fact that the lint
That's
roller
right.
was used and
There
there
wasn't a single hair on the floor.
Sorry, wrong way. I gotta keep remembering.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes, and if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
How'd you know there was no hair in the room? How'd you know that all the hair was cleaned
The
up?
reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Shut up, Ifumi.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Okay, beyond reason. I was like, wait, what?
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
would like to hear these reasons.
Because I didn't
Do you
do
remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
it. It was bloody.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
Yeah.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves that is the object the killer broke, which I need 6 minutes to go ahead, scroll down here, and select doorknob.
I got it! evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
Oh my god, Hero. Doors have knobs. They're called doorknobs.
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken.
Oh, I cracked my knuckles and I might pick that up.
See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
That my doorknob was taken
In
off.
trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
Why would I need to?
But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully
couldn't
that
just
will
say-
help you understand.
The bathroom doors in the men and the boys' rooms don't lock. We have to go through this. Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. Almost didn't notice it at first, but it's the key point here. But is that the key point here? It's a bit more to learn about nonstop debates. Would you like to hear more? Sure. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. No matter how many weak spots, but no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use the truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they say, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now, this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck, have fun!
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's
No, because the boys' bathrooms don't lock.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be.
Why the music changed the Monokumas?
But you know, you're supposed to be the
This
ultimate
is
lucky
funny.
student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck.
Right. Sorry, just scratch my head.
But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay,
Tear
but
apart
then
my
why
knob.
would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so they didn't know the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime is they didn't know that the... In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime is that they didn't know the crime took place in my room.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Regardless of whether the door had a lock or not, he took apart the doorknob, which still needed to be turned and lifted to open.
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Oh, no shit! Fucking Toko! That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Then who did do it?
I'm down, Mondo.
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
Okay, can we just go ahead and eliminate Hifumi now then?
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Majority rules?
Do that.
You really think that's a good idea?
We all die.
Yeah.
If it's wrong.
Our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Thank you, Hina.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Sayaka had to let him in.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
It's not like the doors can be broken into.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Why not, Makoto?
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That answer's right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because... Wait, hold on. Why? Would that be it? Oh, that's your evidence? No, I mean, maybe not. Mr. Naegi, you dispute my statements. Let's hear the beliefs. Okay. It's like... Shit. It's like I embarrassed myself in front of everyone because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. There's no way because... We switched rooms? Okay.
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember?
I was kind of confused.
That's
like,
why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
She
Which
planned
means
something.
only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
of course you didn't. Because
Of course
the note
now.
also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
I mean, that's really not a signature. That's really just the name wrote out so we can see it was Sayaka. But sure. Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Calm down there, perv.
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note?
Well, I'm pretty sure whoever killed her got
And
the
honestly,
note.
even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Why not?
Huh? What makes you say that? Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Yeah, white boy
Sayaka and
dance.
Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room. I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room. Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
I missed the shot. Could have went to my room instead of Sayaka's, and the reason for that is has to be what got switched between my and Sayaka's room.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, but in the note, it specifically... I see.
Then they would have gone to Sayaka's room. Exactly. The room.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
Sorry. I gotta be sitting. I need a new chair. I gotta be
That's
sitting
right.
weird because
The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves.
my old ass body just wants to break
As
down
a
on me.
result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then If someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus,
Very
their rooms
good.
are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
No, I mean, that's why I switched them.
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
It was you, Leon. You did it. Oh, sorry, I didn't read that. The only other person who knew I'd switched rooms was maybe I didn't do it. Okay, so which is it? I apparently didn't hit down twice hard enough. You seem internally confused. Try to think before you speak. Fuck. The only person who could have switched the nameplates, the only person who knew we had switched rooms, I hit it down twice.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew
Who's
about us
Hifumi?
switching rooms.
Fumi's, he's putting on the front that he likes only 2D,
So the only
just so
other
he doesn't
person
look like
besides me who
he's
even
big old
noticed switch the
pervert.
nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to
Damn,
check
Mondo,
the
calm
nameplates.
down.
She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that,
because...
we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Which is who? Who is it, Taka?
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps
Yes.
the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
Right.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Well, I'm gonna put myself back in the middle of it all.
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Because there was some gold on her wrist. The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear.
That gold flake just comes right off.
Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
I love gold!
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because she tried to block attack from the attacker.
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
It's you, Hifumi.
All right, then
Don't
it's about
bullshit
time
it.
to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. A bit more learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Sure. Again, use these non-stop debates. Starting with the next debate, you'll start loading multiple truth bullets in your truth cylinder. But just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, You have to combine the right truth bullet with the right weak spot to refute each statement. Come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage into your influence gauge. If you press the L1 to rotate the cylinder, choose which bullet to fire. Press and release to cycle each through, or you can hold down and use the left stick to select the specific bullet. Oh, okay. By the way, if logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded in the cylinder. We're not set to kind. For our purpose this time, logic difficulty would be set to mean. Well then, good luck, have fun. Okay.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Okay. The person with the sword really did attack first. There's no explanation for how a certain part of the sword got damaged.
When the fighting broke out,
think about
the
this.
culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong.
Because...
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because there is a mark on the sheath.
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone
Where?
cut into it with something sharp.
Where?
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
God, Mondo.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation,
Sounds like a good
there
idea.
wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
Because Sayaka attacked first, didn't she?
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
And it was the one who originally got the kitchen knife.
So here's how it all played out.
I can't wait to hear it,
The
Taka.
culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The part of her body that shows she never used the sword was her ass. If you wanted to use the sword, which part of your body would have touched it? Her ass.
I got it!
She would have had
You're
gold
talking
glitter
about
on her
palms,
cheeks.
right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
Once again, we have to go into the discussion of the fact that this gold glittery paint flakes off.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Hina.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
She was being attacked. Why the hell would she have done that?
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
No,
Yes.
that's not it at all.
It's because you're ugly. There's no way Asako washed the gold coating off her hands because... Okay. There's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathrooms at night. Water was off. Water can't remove it.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Ew. So you just got stinky butt going on?
My.
Oh God, Hifumi. See, look, he did it. He's sitting there saying that he's all about 2D, but he's over there smelling her stinky body.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
How would that be a compliment? How would smelling like a big, fat, ugly donkey be a compliment? I mean, I've been around farms. They smell bad. I don't think they're like, I don't think you go to a farm and be like, oh my God, the cow smells so stinky. What?
Insult, obviously.
Thank you, Leon.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Sayaka. One who damaged the sheath would have been the one without the sword.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
Sayaka. I call her Sayaka.
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
No. She went to switch rooms because she was scared in her room and wanted me to die.
On me?
Wanted to what?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky?
Uh-huh. Obviously, because she died.
For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior.
Excuse me? Byakuya?
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
That bitch!
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
You're a...
Wait, then You're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
Yes, it can.
Because
she was gonna touch my pee-pee!
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. Except that she gave the biggest clue